Okay, it looks like our participant list is leveling off, and I will turn this discussion over to our President and CEO, Jeff Walzak.
Wow, that sounds pretty important. I don't know if that's warranted or not. But anyways, thank you, Miss Carrie. And as we always do, we have to tell you that eTruckBiz is not endorsed, sponsored, or anything like that by FedEx Corporation. Most of you know there's a lot of change going on out there right now. So the more and more we talk to people about all the change that's happening, the more people are starting to ask us questions about something that Becca's going to tell us about here in a second. So I'll let Becca tell us.
Thank you very much. Pretty much to start off, the vision or why you started or wanted to become a FedEx contractor. The vision and goals of becoming one is pretty straightforward and common. I hear this all the time from building a business that's easy to run. You want to drive substantial income. And then, of course, you want to create long-term value as well. This business, with that goal in mind, it's not meant to be a full-time job in itself. You have the goal, you have the vision, but it is kind of hard to implement that and make sure that that is in place. So we want to kind of go and help you so that you don't feel this way, that it is a full-time job. You didn't get in this business to become a full-time operator or administrator. You became a FedEx service provider to build something meaningful, a successful, sustainable operation that works for you, and we can help you to get to that goal. So here's the reality, which we call the operator trap, and it is very easy to get bogged down with the workload. You have this vision, you think that it will be simple, but these day-to-day challenges just keep popping up, and it's very easy to get buried in the operational weeds, as we would call it. You're not failing, you're carrying the weight that wasn't designed for one person to hold. This decision fog is what prevents your business from being easy to run. And we see this all the time. You're not the only one, we understand. But we do have a solution to this issue. And the solution would be DBGSS ecosystem. So we have the business growth and support system, which consists of different programs. You don't need to work more hours. You just need a better system to handle the friction for you. So we have admin IQ that's going to reclaim your time, get rid of the burden that you have to do all those admin tasks, stealing all of your time throughout the week. Budget IQ, this is going to be total financial awareness. And then performance IQ, this is going to make sure that you are efficient and your drivers are doing what they need to be doing day to day and running a system that is profitable. So the transformation or reclaiming your mission, what this is going to show you is that the black bar versus, I guess, the purplish one. That is the time spent before using the business growth and support system versus after. As you can see, admin tasks is huge. That is going to take a lot of your time. Once you are on the system, you're going to be spending a lot less time with admin tasks, mostly just reviewing what your administrative services manager is sending you. So growth activities, you're going to be spending a lot more time focusing on that area and strategic planning, which is what we want you to be focusing on, not necessarily the day-to-day admin tasks. And then team development as well. So you can get a good idea of what our goal here is. We want you focusing on areas that is going to better your business and get you back into that goal and that the vision that you originally had, instead of being bogged down with all these tasks, and we can take care of that for you. Your profit unlock starts today, so we can help you no matter what phase you're in, whether it's looking into becoming a FedEx service provider, or you've been in this business for years, or you want to grow and you want to, if you schedule a business transformation session, we can explore different options, go through each program with you, and I can answer any questions that you may have about any of the steps that it needs to take or how we can help with your specific issue or area of concern that you're having. We have a solution to any of those stages, and you can always email me directly at becca@etruckbiz.com, and I would be happy to either set up a 15-minute call or a full-blown session, whatever it is to fit your needs.
All right. Well, thank you, Becca. And Becca was going to tell us, except I will now, that eTruckBiz is all about making it your business simple so you can achieve what you wanted to in the first place. So that's what that was all about. And now we're going to look at last week's volume. So last week, at least for now, looks like it was the big, huge, oh my gosh, weather event, I hope, of the entire winter. But let's see what happened here. So if you look at the pickups on the vans, of course they're down, but the thing that's troubling here is they're way under last year. When the packages have fall in line with that, they're way under last year at this time. So one of the things need to even not necessarily be looking at your historical volume. Your historical volume is going to throw you off as well. And maybe, and you guys can put in the chat if you want. I'd be curious to know, has any of your volume, has the FRO come back in line yet? Because as you guys know, it gets all whacked out. I'm wondering, yes, I know it's always off, but is it off as bad as it was before? So if you look at the delivery volume, same thing here, but here's the thing to look at. Down 15, 16% from the previous week, and again, way under last year. So I hope, and let's look at the productivity here. So I hope what we did is we tried to scale back to get less vans on the road to match the volume that we were tendered or presented. And it didn't look like we did so. It looks like, yes, we're up off the bottom there, but it's still not good. So just so everybody knows, this is going to present, and you probably already know this, this is going to present a financial problem here very soon, where you get a lot of payroll, a lot of bills, not so much volume and revenue to cover them. So just keep that in mind as we go. Okay, there's some news out there. So first thing, and this happened I think right after last week's presentation, but UPS to cut 30,000 more jobs amid a turnaround plan. The shipping giant calls workforce reduction part of the largest network reconfiguration in company history. That's a lesson in PR for you. So at first, if you guys recall, let's say about a year ago, 9 months ago, oh no, everything's okay. We're right sized and everything's great. Volume is steady. Everything's fantastic here at UPS. And okay, everybody thought everything was okay. But now, oops. Now it's a network reconfiguration. The company said last January that it would accelerate a plan to slash millions of low-profit deliveries for Amazon, its largest customer and growing delivery rival, calling the business extraordinarily dilutive to margins. So then the CEO came out and said, we're in the final 6 months of our Amazon accelerated glide down plan. And for the full year 2026, we intend to glide down another million pieces per day while continuing to reconfigure our network. So first there wasn't a problem. Now there's a problem. They said last, I guess it was spring, summer-ish, oh, FedEx is going to take all the big packages, and we worked out a deal there. Those million packages that now they're finally admitting that are going to go away from UPS, where are they going to go? They're not necessarily going to go on Amazon's trucks, although many of them can. Are they going to go to the post office? Some will, but I believe, and I think a lot of people believe, we're going to see something here in a second, a lot of people believe that Amazon will have no choice other than to turn to FedEx again. But this time, of course, FedEx isn't going to give the farm away for the business. They're going to say, look, we got to charge you X amount for this business, and that's what it is. Either do that or you're going to have to put them on your trucks, which they know is a big loser. So the tables have turned here. The other thing, and I got this just off the internet just a couple minutes ago, look at that stock price, almost 354. Not only is that a 52-week high, or very close to it. It might be an all-time high, adjusted for splits and whatnot. I'm not sure if that's right, but it's way up there, folks. The question is why. So what's flying around out there is they're going to announce something at Investor Day, which is about a week or so away. It's not the freight announcement, although there probably will be an update. It's not the freight announcement because everybody already knows about that. The speculation is that they're going to announce a larger than expected Network 2.0 coming this year. So as you know, the more volume they move from Express, which costs them a fortune per stop and per package, to the ground network, those packages yield better for FedEx. Those are way better. That's a way better situation. And if you can accelerate that transition from Express to ground, of course, that's way better from a financial standpoint. That's the hot rumor out there. That's what they might announce. Maybe it's something else. And if it is, well, I guess we'll find out in about a week. Okay. So we were talking about change, and it's not just contractors. It's a lot of things that are changing, right? It's the express volume. It's package route. Who knows what's going on with that? Is it sunsetting? Is it still out there, not out there? What are they going to do? But all this change has got people thinking, and people have been asking us more than usual about different things that are related to change. FedEx is undergoing significant transformation with the 2.0 initiative and other major ships like Package Route and GroundCloud, which we just talked about. So there's also volatility in package volumes and all kinds of forces that are disrupting the way your team works. So recently we were on a live demo for Easy Route when a service provider who liked what he saw and asked the question that is on almost everybody's mind right now. Knowing that eTruckBiz is a much better business platform for anything else out there, how can I get my guys, my drivers, to accept the change from GroundCloud to Easy Route, right? Well, my guys like GroundCloud. Well, okay, that's great, but most folks have figured it out already. Not only is GroundCloud the most expensive thing out there now, but they might raise the prices more. So a lot of people are asking the question, what should I be doing here? So as leaders, we need to think about how to get our drivers to accept change and guide them into positive change for the good of your business. So we'll need to find ways to help our drivers adapt to the changes and maintain efficiency while also managing our own stress levels during this period of upheaval. So as the leader, your team looks to you for guidance and direction. If you express hesitation or blame external factors, your team will pick up on that negativity. It's important to own any decision you make and believe it's the right move for the long-term health of the company. You need to demonstrate zero hesitation, and indecision creates room for your team to push back. So if you're going to make some sort of large change, you've got to decide you're going to do it and commit to it. You also need to make sure you remind your drivers that you're making this change to ensure your company's future and to keep their trucks on the road. Your unwavering commitment will inspire them to get on board. So lead by example. If you approach any change with confidence and optimism, your team is more likely to follow your lead. You know, we like to talk about leadership all the time, and that's exactly what's going on here. It's really a leadership issue. Now, there are certain...
Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to bring up too, it's all about the communication. And we've got one client out at Huntsville there, weekly newsletter covering everything from the scores, the safety scores, to the ride, picture proof of delivery, who's doing the best, who needs to work on it. You can't communicate enough with your drivers. And that's what it's all about. You got to communicate with them, let them know what's coming. Just like what we do with our weekly webinars, giving you information on what's going on in the industry. No reason why you guys should be doing that too, because a lot of you are starting to grow and becoming bigger and needing those people underneath that are going to help lead the company into the future. So, newsletters are not bad. They need to see numbers and statistics, whether good or bad, but they need to see them and see where everyone's at. That can help them start holding each other accountable. That's what we're missing now from the 90s and 2000s, is no one holds each other accountable. If you can get them to do that, you'll see the change.
I think we got something right up your alley there, Bob. Going to be in the Performance IQ program here pretty soon when we roll that out. But anyways, in the FedEx environment, there is something that works very well, and it's called the inner circle strategy. And it's a proven approach to driving change in an organization like that of a contracted service provider. So instead of trying to convince 20 or 30 people at once to change their habits at the same time, if you've tried to do that before, that's usually a recipe for disaster, right? Everybody wants to complain. So you would want to instead introduce small changes to a select group of your folks first. This guiding coalition of 2 to 3 veteran or tech-savvy drivers who have social capital with the team will help you implement the changes. So the key steps here are, first, identify the key influencers in your driver team or your organization. Who are those folks that you know everybody looks up to, listens to? You want to build your coalition with these folks, right? And let them test the changes first before rolling everything out to a wider group. So just as an example here, well, I think the next slide is an example. You'd want to basically, let's say you're changing from, and there's been a lot of folks doing this that I actually am surprised, that are looking to move from GroundCloud to easyroute or GroundCloud to eTruckBiz. You'd want to take your influencers, your people you're in your inner circle, and let them get their hands on easyroute first. Let them try to use it. Let them understand, first of all, why you're doing what you're doing, and then how the changes and things you want to implement work, right? Let them be the ones that go to the other folks and get them to show them how to use it, right? You want to emphasize that easyroute is an upgrade, not just a replacement. It's designed for today's realities, not the past. It's designed for 2.0, not what we were doing before. So you want them, your influencers, to highlight the key benefits for the drivers. So in this case, if we're doing easyroute, we want to make sure that we want to say that, hey, look, the thing is simple, is that the app has been designed by drivers for drivers to try to strip away some of the clutter of other applications. We want to emphasize the reliability. It integrates with the whole eTruckBiz ecosystem for accurate data and compliance. And long story short, you want to say, look, this is going to add to your job security because the cost savings and efficiency gains will help ensure a profitable contractor's business, steady paychecks, because that's really what they're there for, aren't they? They're already there to make sure the truck doesn't break down and the check cash on Fridays. So it's really in their best interest to take place in the change because they're really helping themselves. So when it comes time to address the group about the change, many choose to enlist the aid of the inner circle people. We said that. Drivers tend to trust the opinion of other drivers more than the bosses, right? Explain the value of creating a feedback loop to quickly identify and address any issues the team is struggling with, such as login or interface problems. Reinforce again that easyroute, in this case, is not just about saving money, but also about better data management, easier compliance, and like we said, job security. So the inner circle thing works very well. What are 5 strategies tailored for FedEx service providers to help drivers accept and adapt to change? The first thing, and it's sort of part of getting your inner circle together, but there's the what's in it for me factor. Right? Drivers want to know, what is it going to mean to them? So if you can say that the change you're about to make leads to saving them time and effort, that makes it a little more palatable to a driver, right? So just whatever change you're looking at making, if it dwells on shorter stem times or better density or leads to, if a good routing application eliminates wasted miles, that eliminates their wasted time and gets them back earlier. That's what they're looking for, right? So one of the things you can do is you can say, instead of saying we are switching apps, say we are moving to easyroute so you can get home 30 minutes earlier and stop fighting with the aging GroundCloud interface. Just explain to any change. It doesn't have to necessarily be easyroute, but any change, just what's in it for the driver. Why would they want to participate? And as we said, you can take another thing on that and just find a tech savvy driver or two and let them have at it first. Let them evaluate and give some feedback to us. If that's what you're doing, that would be good. So, that your pilot drivers, or whatever we're calling them, are early adopters. Those folks get followed more than Joe, the driver that's been there for 25 years. Joe, the driver, might be part of your inner circle, but is Joe, the driver, really the tech person you want trying some new tech out first? So think about that.
And you want the willing of your inner circle, not the naysayers. They're as much, if not more, influential than anyone else. Get the willing, not the cancers.
For sure. And if you can get the drivers to adapt to change. I don't particularly like this one, but there is a way to incentivize the transition phase. So learning a new system creates temporary productivity tax where drivers might be slower for the first few days. Maybe you throw some money at it. I would not do it myself, but Some people think that it works. It's a way you maybe could get folks to adapt to change. If you say, look, I'll give you $50 if you just use this app for a week. How's that? Maybe that's how you got to do it. Anyway, that's another way, another strategy. Here's another for all you young people out there. Maybe this is more of a young people thing, but create a no blame learning zone. Fear of failure is a major reason people resist change. Drivers worry that a new app like Easy Route will cause them to miss service windows or mess up their manifest. Tell your drivers that you are prioritizing learning over speed so they can. Everything's okay out there. Everybody gets a trophy. Everything's okay. Don't worry about it. You can take your time learning it. So anyways, removing the pressure of performance during the switch reduces anxiety. And okay, that's great. And then of course, that's what Bob's saying. Communicate, open feedback loop. You may want to, if you're implementing something like Easy Route, instead of having a weekly safety meeting, at least for the first few days, why don't you have a daily meeting or some sort of daily communication so that you can get whatever kind of feedback that you need to know about whatever change you're trying to make as quickly as possible so you can affect what's going on there. All right. And then we've talked about it forever, but change is here. And in order to survive and thrive, we're going to have to deal with change, and we're going to have to get our drivers to deal with change. And that's, folks, what it really comes down to. You're going to have to change some things, and it's just going to have to be that way. Whether those drivers like it or not, or you like it or not, it's happening, and you already know. So I hope we've covered a couple things to get you thinking about change and getting drivers to adapt to change. Does anybody have any questions, or even better, some comments? Maybe you want to tell the group how you've adjusted change or how you've dealt with certain things, getting into 2.0 or anything like that. Usually Ken reads these, Miss Carrie, but I gotcha. Oh, never mind. John said he couldn't hear. Did anybody have any
I do
story?
not see any more questions. We're always interested in hearing contractor stories on their experiences, if anybody would like to share that.
Who's brave? You have to raise your hand and I'll open up your mic. Okay, well, it doesn't look like anybody wants to share any change stories. If that's the case, then I guess we'll see here pretty soon what the whoop-de-doo is about the stock price. That's interesting stuff in and of itself. So if anybody doesn't have any questions, we'll see you next week, same time, and talk to you later. See you, bye.